Hi everyone, and welcome to your pre-recorded video for this week. I am going to apologize in advance that I am not able to be live with you this week. I had a last minute appointment come up that I needed to be at, and I wasn't sure I would be back in time for my 7 o'clock Facebook Live with you all on Thursday. And so I decided to do a pre-recorded video and share with you one of my classes that I will be offering for all of you to be able to purchase as well. So this one uses the Everyday Arches bundle. Now this bundle has been out for a little while. I believe it came out on an online exclusive a few months back, but I never used it for anything, and I have absolutely loved designing these cards with you. Now I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a different twist on how I used these, because I really used the dies more than I did some of the sayings with the arches that go around on the sayings. So you're going to kind of see me use it in a little bit of a different way. Now these Everyday Arches dies are phenomenal. They are great shapes for doing all kinds of different things, window panes, all kinds of different things that you might want to do with this amazing shape. And here's the awesome thing is you get lots of different shape sizes. You can see mine are very well used. We used them a ton here. So, but you get lots of different shapes. And so the ones that I have out are probably more than likely the ones that we used on my cards that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. So again, I apologize that I didn't have much notice to tell you that I would not be able to be live with you, but I had a last minute appointment, personal appointment that I needed to do, and like I said, just don't know if I'm going to be back in time, and I don't want to feel rushed. So anyway, I'm doing the next best thing for you guys. So this is the Everyday Arches bundle again. And you're going to see me using it and pairing it with some really beautiful designer series paper that I think goes with it just wonderfully. And I hope that you guys consider purchasing this class. The link will be available shortly after my live posts or my video post for all of you on Thursday. The other stamp set that I coordinated with this product suite or this product bundle is the mixed florals. You're going to see where I used this on a couple of the cards as well and just colored some of the flowers and things like that. I really like this mixed floral set as well. Other things that I used on my cards for tonight, I showcased the brushed brass butterflies, and I also used some linen thread, and you should always have linen thread in your stash. It's always a good safe fallback if you want something really quick and simple to put on your cards. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now I'm not going to be doing my sharing this week. We will forfeit that and do it next week. It's really hard. I know some of you have a hard time sharing and commenting on my YouTube videos if that's an issue. So I decided to not do the sharing this week. That will be back next week, but I do still encourage you to comment, like, share, all those great things. I always appreciate the support. So the first card I'm going to be sharing with you is this one right here. You can see where I use the Everyday Arches shapes, and here's where that beautiful mixed floral piece comes in, but look at how beautiful this card is. I did do some coloring with blends, and I did do that in advance of my video for you here. Colors that I used are Old Olive. I used the I believe I used Lost Lagoon, or it might even be the cloud cover color. And then I used Calypso Coral. Okay, so you can see here that I just kind of colored these in. I think on this one I may have even used the light petal pink for a little bit of a different look. Okay, so let me show you how easy it is to assemble this card. So this card uses the Lost Lagoon for the card base. And then I followed up with a piece of the Pretty Peacock. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4, and this is the Damask embossing folder. I know that it's currently unavailable. It's part of the Gallery Bloom bundle that is also not available right now. It has just been in high demand. I know I have a handful of my customers patiently waiting to receive it as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this mat down. Now, if you purchase the class, you get all of the supplies to make all 5 of these cards that I'm featuring tonight. You actually get enough supplies to make 2 of each one. So it's a great deal for you to be able to have all of the supplies that you need. Here you can see I used some of this Forever, oh gosh, I forget the name of this paper, but it came out with the Flowers of Beauty or the Journey set. But any kind of paper would use here. We have a ton of paper right now that is the scenery and the scenic look that you could pair it with anything. You can see here that I did pair it with the Calypso Coral to bring in some of the coral paper that's down here on the bottom. This one here, you can see it's got a little bit of a different variation. I used the same piece of paper, but you just cut it in out of a different spot. So I'm just going to adhere these two together. Can't you guys see how awesome it would be for those? The dies are just awesome. So if you don't have those dies, I always like dies that include shapes, because you always can have a little bit of a different, use them for many different things. So like I said, if you don't have them yet, I encourage you to do that. Here I'm going to go ahead and add the flower. You guys, that's it. Look how simple that is. So I did use the mixed floral stamp set. There are dies that cut this out as well, and I did use those in advance. I just forgot to get the dies out before I went live with you or did my pre-recorded video. I was in a hurry to make sure I did this with you while I was working. Most of you know I work in my basement on Wednesday nights. So it is Wednesday night. I don't even want to tell you guys what time it is. Well, okay, I will. It is 11:25. Yes, 11:25, and I'm doing my live with all of you because I believe that it's important for me to do that and keep you guys inspired week after week. But tonight was spent, actually, those of you who have purchased from my BOGO sale, you probably heard from me tonight. I spent a good almost 3 hours working on BOGO sale stuff and figuring out who pulled from my, or who bought what from my online one. So if you haven't checked out my online BOGO sale yet, I encourage you to do that. Search for Online BOGO Sale by Kim Vogel over on Facebook. Most of you are probably already in it and you might not even know that. But you comment on the things that you want, and then I give you a total. You put in an online order, and then I ship you all your goodies. I've got a really good system. I've been doing this now for a good number of years in an online format. So make sure that you check that all out. So that's what I spent my night doing tonight. And so now I'm just trying to make sure I have my video done for you guys. And then, yes, I'll be heading up to bed. We're going to add a couple little butterflies. I thought these brass butterflies were the perfect embellishment for these cards, since we're kind of going for the outdoorsy type look. And you could also add some linen thread if you wanted to one of the little the little stems here. But I thought this card was beautiful just as it is. Now, in the interest of time, since I do need to get to bed tonight, I may not put all of the linen thread on these cards, but know that you will receive the linen thread if you purchase the class for you to be able to put that those on your cards. Okay. All right. The next one I'm going to share with you is this one right here. And again, I used the exact same flower, one of the flowers from the set as well. And I love that. This one I did use You Are Simply Fantastic. So you can see here that these are designed to go right around the arches of those dies. So You Are Simply Fantastic is what I did on this one. You can see I added the linen thread around the back. But again, I am not going to do that here on my card with you tonight. So if you really like the simplistic approach and you don't like to use all of the ribbons and frills and things, you wouldn't have to. But what I like about the butterflies is that they do lay nice and flat so that you can easily send this card in the mail. So I'm starting with a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock, and I'm adding a layer of the Petunia Pop. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4. And like I said, you would normally tie, if you wanted to use the linen thread, you would tie the linen thread around. Interest of time, I'm not going to do that. And then I have this piece of Designer Series paper. Again, it's just cut from the designer paper, and you could use either side of this if you really wanted to. I used this side, and then I did stamp the You Are Simply Fantastic with the Night of Navy ink. And I am going to adhere this down to my card, and I'm just going to do it right in the center. And then here we have those awesome little stamped flowers. You guys, these cards are so quick and simple, yet beautiful, right? So like I said, if it's something that you're interested in, let me know, and we'll make sure to get this out to you. This is a class that I believe I just had here in my basement. So it will be one that I'll be opening up for everyone else to be able to purchase as well. The final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of butterflies to this card. You know, again, these butterflies are so gosh darn cute and quick and simple. We're just going to add 3 of them on here, and voila, there's our card number 2. Beautiful, right? All right, the next card that I'm going to share with you is, let's see here. Oh, this one. Now this one I did a little bit differently. I wanted to show you how you can actually put designer series paper behind it. So on this one, for the card base is definitely Mossy Meadow. You can see here I used a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the peach pie, and I did emboss it with that embossing folder as well. But this time we are just going to add some designer series paper behind it. So it gives you the more of a framed look. And if you wanted to, you could even put this on with dimensionals to make this be raised a little bit more. So let me fold my piece of cardstock in half. So this is the Mossy Meadow. And then we're just going to adhere down the card, or the designer series paper. And look at how it just looks like it's a beautiful little scenic. I mean, it's just gorgeous, you guys. Oops, wrong thing. I needed to adhere this to this. So that's what I get for not paying attention, or maybe that's what I get for it being late at night and me trying to create for you guys. All right, so we're gonna adhere this down to this first. Oops, I don't like that gooey adhesive there. There we go. So I'm just gonna adhere this down to here. And now I have adhesive on the back of that. And it's okay if that doesn't line up because no one's going to see it. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to that. And then I have from the same stamp set, it says Embrace the Journey. So this would be a great one for somebody who might be facing health challenges or something like that. And you want to just let them know that you're thinking of them and that kind of thing. Or maybe they're going somewhere and doing something awesome. Like this would be a great card for my daughter Natalie to embrace the journey as she's living her life at Disney for the next 7 months. You know, so it can just kind of be a card for anything. I kind of like that sentiment, actually. So I did stamp that in a, using the Memento Black ink on a 3/4 inch strip of basic white. You can see here I did add a little stamped image. Yep, this stamped image is from the same set that I had here. Maybe I may have actually grabbed another stamp set, you guys, so I apologize, but any flowers that you have will work for these, so that's kind of the cool thing. But these kind of match with that a little bit. It looks, so I'm guessing I probably used the bundle. And you can see here I did add the twine in a little bow onto the stem of this flower. Interest of time, I'm not going to do that tonight. And then I'm going to add a little butterfly here. So here we're just going to add a little butterfly up here, and you could add a couple more into your scenery if you want to. I'm going to add, I think I did add one more up here on the top of this. There we go. So there we go. Couldn't get it off there first. I'm just going to add one up here, and voila. There you have it, guys. Quick, simple, easy card. Love those Archit dies. They really just make these cards awesome. All right, the next card that I'm going to be sharing with you is this one right here. Now this one would make a really good one for like late summer into early fall. It's also kind of like designed for it to be like a wintry looking theme if you really wanted it to be, but I think it doesn't have to be. That's where you can kind of get creative with it. For this card, I used the Petunia Pop for my card base, and I'm just going to fold that in half. And then I did use 2 of the arches, and I skipped the one size. So this is actually one of the bigger ones. I skipped one and then did another size. So that way I have a little bit more of the Night of Navy showing here. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm just going to adhere these 2 together, and I'm going to put it on here like this. Again, I want to make sure that you have the right amount kind of showing here. And then we're going to adhere this down to the card base. And then I did use one of the little arches. You guys, this is so cool. It's an arch, but I used it for one of the sentiments. So it goes this way onto the card. Isn't that kind of cool? You can see here I did wrap some of the twine around that. And the final thing I did is I added one of the blue greenery from the dies. So I do believe, like I said, I don't have the dies out. But you'll see here in a minute. I'm just going to add this up here at the top. And then here is the little greenery, or the little bluery, I guess I should call it. That's just going to kind of go down here at the bottom. And that we're going to put on with some of our liquid Tombow glue. So I'm just going to kind of add a little bit here like this. Here we go. Don't need a lot. And then that will get adhered down here like that. Here we go. And then I did add a little linen thread bow down here at the bottom. And you guessed it, we added some butterflies. Now, if you really want this to be a winter card, you may not want to add butterflies, but I thought it was just kind of a beautiful card with the butterflies, so I chose to add the butterflies. So again, totally personal, up to you if you would like to include those or not. All right, so there you have it, guys, card number 4. All right, and I know I'm going through these kind of fast, but that's because I need to get some sleep. All right, this is my last card that's part of this amazing class. And so for this card, I used basic white for the card base, and I'm just gonna fold that in half here like this. And then I have a layer of 5 1/4 by 4 of the Calypso Coral that is just going to also get put onto my card like this. And then I have a piece of Mossy Meadow, just to kind of tie in some of the green from this beautiful paper. Just have a little piece that's going to go right along the bottom, or kind of closer to the bottom of this. So we're just going to add this down here near the bottom. And it's going to be just the right size to have a little bit of the edge showing here on the Calypso Coral. And then I have these 2 pieces that are going to get glued together. And actually, I want to add my little this stuff first. So here's that Designer Series paper. Again, you can pick the opposite side if you like it better. But I like it like this because, again, it brings in those awesome colors that I used back here. And so now we can add this to the card like that. Okay, now we're going to adhere these 2 little pieces together. I kind of wanted the hello to kind of stand out a little bit, so I chose to make it kind of do that. So we're just going to kind of put it, oops, I guess it's not quite even, so I don't know if I want to do that yet. All right, we're going to make sure it's even. Even Steven. All right. I guess I'm not going to make it even Steven. All right, we're going to go with it. Whatever it is, I'm leaving it. Hey, not too bad. All right, so this I'm just going to go ahead and adhere down to my card right across the center here. Again, you can use the linen thread if you wanted to. I didn't on mine. I did use the word hello that I am going to put on with a couple dimensionals. That is stamped using the Mossy Meadow ink color. And I am just going to take off the 2 backings here. This is going to go down to the center of my card. And you guessed it, we are going to use some of these little butterflies to put on here like that. And voila, you guys, you have another card. So let me bring all of these in to share with you guys tonight. Again, I apologize that I was not able to let you guys know that I wouldn't be live. I had something come up last minute, and I'm sure you all can understand and relate how sometimes you just got to make things work. And so I'm doing the next best thing and bringing you guys some cards for some inspiration. I think this is probably my most favorite one. But again, this is an awesome class available for purchase. I think it's shipped to you. It includes 10 cards with all the supplies and things. Shipped to you 10 cards with envelopes and the shipping is $45. Yeah, it's a really awesome opportunity for you to get your hands on some really fun cards using the Everyday Arches bundle. I should also mention there is a cheaper, or not cheaper, but a cost for the class that it does not include the shipping for local pickup as well. So let me know if you're interested in that option. I always, you guys, just so you know, I really try to keep the price reasonable. Shipping is a true cost. It doesn't even include the product and things like that. So I hope you understand that I do try my best to keep the cost and the prices as reasonable as I can, so that you can have your fun and creativeness inside of your budget as well. So thank you guys so very much for letting me share these cards with you tonight and these awesome products. If you know that you're interested in this class, please feel free to shoot me a private message, or you can comment on the video, but usually a private message, I can see it faster, and it goes directly to me. I'm sure to make sure that you guys have the information and can get your hands on this class. So thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will be back live with you all next week. Now, I do know that next week I will probably be live with you on Wednesday instead of Thursday, and to observe the 4th of July weekend, as I do plan, I didn't even tell my mom yet, but I do plan to go to my mom's and visit her for a couple days. So I will be live with you guys on Wednesday night next week instead of Thursday, so I have an extra day to be able to go and visit my mother and go. Actually, I want to drive to her house that night. So anyway, have a great evening, great weekend, everyone, and I will see you back here soon. Bye.